So I'm going to show you the recipe notebook and everything. But before that, we have this lovely pie shell. It's an all butter crust that I made. I used the basic recipe from Out of Kentucky Kitchens here from 1949. It's become my favorite pie crust recipe. So I will have that in the description down below. I'll get that ready later on when the live is over, but I will have that for you guys. So what I do is I like to make my pie crust ahead and then put it in the freezer because then the fluting, this edge stays a lot nicer if you freeze it ahead of time. You want to get it nice and cold before putting in the oven. So I made the crust about an hour or two ago and put it in the freezer, and then I kind of pricked it with a knife all over. So the first step to this rhubarb custard pie recipe is to bake this pastry only for 5 minutes at 450 degrees. So we're going to get this in the oven, and then we're going to mix up our rhubarb mixture. So I'm just going to have that go for 5 minutes. And so we have over here a cup and a quarter of sugar. Let me know if you like rhubarb pie or strawberry rhubarb. Usually everybody likes strawberry, but I also really love this custard pie. So I have 4 cups of homegrown rhubarb. I grew this in my garden. You can see there are some pink pieces, but mostly green because mine doesn't get that red or pink, but the flavor is the same. So we're going to use this. So this is 4 cups or 1 pound, and then a cup and a quarter of sugar. We're going to mix this up with a quarter cup of flour. So we're going to mix all that together. Welcome everybody. Please say hi in the chat, in the comments. Thank you so much. Hi. I love Dr. Pepper. That's a cute name. So we're going to get all of this coated, and we're going to actually just set that aside for 15 minutes. And that way everything kind of soaks into that mixture. So we're not going to add anything there. Hello, Chaya. Oh, I am making rhubarb custard pie. So this is my grandma's recipe. I have it here in my notebook. So this is some rhubarb that I grew in my garden. And I have it in this huge baking notebook. I keep all of my favorite baking recipes in there from family. Yay, hi Terry, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know, everybody, if you like rhubarb as much as I do. I look forward to this pie all year long. So this is my Super Bowl here. So we're going to let that set for 15 minutes. I need to set another timer. All right, so we got that. And we've got the pastry in the oven for 5 minutes for 450. Yay, I'm so glad you love that kind of pie, Chaya. That is awesome. So we're going to make a streusel filling next. And that involves a little bit more flour. So we're going to grab a quarter cup of flour here. And then we're going to grab some oats, just a quarter cup of oats. I love this recipe, doesn't require a whole lot. It's just easy stuff that you hopefully usually have at home and don't have to run out and buy a lot of crazy stuff. So we've got a 1/3 cup of brown sugar in there. So let me know what your favorite pies are. This is one of my favorites I look forward to. I also love coconut cream, lemon meringue, all kinds. And this is not in my grandma's recipe, but I love to put cinnamon. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of cinnamon here. And then the best thing of all, butter. So it says 3 tablespoons. I put 4. I don't like to skimp on butter in anything. It's in pastry, it's in everything. So we're not going to be afraid to get our fingers messy in here. And we're just going to kind of just keep working in there to make a streusel, kind of like we would with pie dough. So we're going to get all the butter mixed in there, as you can see. It's kind of a mess, but I will wash my hands after, and they are clean, of course. Hello, nice to see you. Thanks everybody for joining in. And let me know if you are growing anything in your garden this year. If you like to do veggie gardening, fruits, flowers, herbs, anything like that that you can use in cooking. I absolutely love growing fruit, well, mainly berries. I grow a lot of strawberries, huckleberries, other kinds of berries, some apples, lots of herbs. Oops, there's our pastry. So this is a bit of a mess, but this streusel is ready. Seems like everything goes off at once. So I'm going to go rinse off my hands, wash them up a little bit, and then I'm going to get that pie pastry out of the oven. So sorry, I have to go off to the side here for a moment. So definitely let me know what kind of pies you enjoy, if you're growing anything. Okay, get this pastry out. Okay, you can see it's just a little bit cooked, but this is good. Nothing is collapsing. So we have that ready. We still have about 11 minutes to wait on this rhubarb. It needs to sit here a while so it really soaks in that sugar. So yes. So now we have our streusel done. We have our rhubarb ready. The only other thing we're going to be adding into the rhubarb is a couple eggs. And because this is custard, it's funny because there's no milk, just the eggs. So, oh, pumpkin pies. Oh, those are so good. That's my husband's favorite. And actually, in this Kentucky cookbook, they have the best pumpkin pie. It has a ton of spices, and I think it has a little bourbon in it, which makes it amazing. So I always have to go buy a tiny bit of bourbon for that pumpkin pie. But I wanted to show you guys this 1949 Kentucky book. Oh, hey, Suzanne, thanks for joining. Your mom always made strawberry rhubarb pie. Oh, yes, I absolutely love that as well. And I do also make that in the season. So this is the crust recipe here. It calls for either shortening or lard, but I usually use butter. Um, but you can use whatever you want in there. So I will have this for you guys there. And I want to show you a little bit of my personal notebook as we wait for the rhubarb. So this is the recipe that I will be sharing. I'll have that typed up when the live is over. I have a strawberry pie recipe. Sometimes I just write these on notebook paper. And I have gluten-free pastry. I've got crack pie. I don't know if you've ever had that, but it's the Milk Bar in New York City. That one is super yummy. It's like pure sugar, but really good. Classic apple pie, um, cherry pie. Anybody like apple or cherry? I love sour cherry pies. I still have more cherries in the freezer to use up. I've got oh, here's my strawberry rhubarb pie recipe. I sort of modified some of that. Um, yeah, that one's really good. This one actually has molasses and honey in it. So that is really yummy. Here's another different pumpkin pie recipe. That one's good with Chinese five spice. Ooh, raspberry lemon buttermilk pie. This one, we used to have a stand at the farmer's market, and we would make this. So it's kind of like a custard pie base. And then you put raspberry jam and raspberries on top, and it's so pretty. So, yeah. Hi, Suzanne. Nice to see you. Um, Oh, huckleberry peach is another one that's yummy. I don't know if anyone's ever had huckleberries, let me know. But I grow some here in the garden. Here's my classic apple pie. Oh, here's some pretty pastries here. I don't think I've actually made these, but oh, it's just made out of tortilla bowls. That's cute. Blueberry pie, I cut a lot of things out of magazines, so habit of mine. There's a blueberry pie. This one you mostly cook on the stove before you bake it, which is really nice. Apricot raspberry. There's some homemade vanilla ice cream, Italian meringue. I have some other stuff in here, but just a treasure trove of awesome stuff. Oh, there's a few more pies. Oh, that's meringues, gluten-free, another pumpkin pie, blackberry galette out of a magazine. I used to cut out way too many magazine recipes, so I'm going to check my timer. And yes, we still got a tiny bit of time here. Um, so let's see. Yeah. Oh, and what I was going to say is after we get the filling and the crumble on, for part of the time, we're going to be covering this with foil because you have to bake this pie a long, long time. It has to get really hot and bubbly. So because we don't want to overdo the crust, we want to put foil on it for the first few minutes there. And then we can take it off. So we're going to be baking it. We're going to reduce the temperature of the oven just a little bit to 375. And then we're gonna bake it for about 25 minutes, remove the foil, and then bake it another 25 minutes. So it's almost a whole hour in there because you want it to get really, really set. And that takes a while to make sure it's still thick and set kind of pie. So that's what's going to be happening there. And we've still got a little bit of time. So I'm gonna let's explore a few recipes in this Kentucky book. That's all about pie crust. We've got, let's see, here was some pie. So we've got buttermilk pie. This is really, really good. A lot of people haven't tried this. This is something I will need to make on this channel. But if you haven't tried it, it is hugely yummy. Sounds weird, but really good. There's a chess pie, which is, again, kind of a sugary pie. Chocolate fudge, that sounds really, really good. Cottage cheese pie, I have not tried that, but that sounds really good. Eggnog, maple pecan. Let me know if you like pecan pie. I think it's yummy too. It can be really, really rich, but really good. Here's nut and raisin chess pies. That sounds interesting, like for a holiday thing. Pecan bourbon, cream cheese cake pie. Oh, this is a really, really fun thing. I don't know if anybody has heard of this, but a stack pie. This is when they used to do picnic outings and they wanted to take a lot of pie, but there wasn't a lot of room to carry them all. So they just sort of stacked them up. And this is super, super fun. I've made this kind of a version of this before. It takes some time and you've got to get little tiny kind of thinner pie pans, but it is really fun. There's a transparent pie, again, kind of sugary. Bob Andy pie. And then there's some kuchen recipes and custards. So those are really, oh, This cherry pie is really fabulous. And green tomato pie, that's one I have not tried, but I'm very, very curious about. All right. So actually, I think I'm going to call this good. And we're going to get this pie rolling, shall we say. What fillings do you use in the stack pie? Actually, I'm going to remind myself because it's been a while and I think it was something really simple. So there's the crust. Um, yeah, so the filling is actually just kind of like eggs, butter, lemon, and sugar. So it's kind of a sugary, custardy lemon thing. And then what you do is you stack them all up and then you frost the whole thing. So it's almost like a pie cake, but there's no cake in there. So it is it's super delicious, but a little sweet, like a little crazy sweet. So yeah, it's wow indeed, Suzanne. It is, yeah, I made this. This is really fun one to maybe do for a birthday party if you have quite a few people coming because you just want a tiny slice because the sugary part plus the crust plus the frosting is a lot, but it is super fun. So I'm going to have to do this again. And usually, so I did this. I remember I used the brown sugar frosting, which is just brown sugar and heavy cream. So really, really sweet, but absolutely fabulously delicious. All right, so um, we just have 2 minutes, so I think we are pretty good to get our pie um, filling going. We have our rhubarb sugar flour mixture here. We are going to add in 2 whole eggs, and we want to get those really, really mixed in. You can see this. And I'm going to bring over, this is cooled down. Okay. And actually, I'm going to turn down the oven to 375 now. And I will watch this because my oven is on a convection setting. I don't know if any of you have that. Um, but I like the even cooking with the fan, so that's why I use it. And it does cause things to cook or bake a little bit quicker, which is nice. So if you can see that yumminess here, we're gonna get this really, really incorporated. I have a fun story from the farmer's market. I don't know if any of you like to go to farmer's markets, but for 4 years, I had a business with my mom and sister-in-law, Kim, and we sold baked goods every single Saturday for 6 months out of the year for 4 years in a row. We were very dedicated. And we made this pie every spring. And we had a gentleman come by named Rich. We ended up naming the pie after him. Rich's rhubarb pie or rhubarb custard pie. Because he bought a whole pie every single week because he loved the rhubarb custard. So we tried to make those as long as we could in the season and even freeze rhubarb. We would buy the rhubarb at the farmer's market and then use it in our pies. And we'd use a lot of ingredients from the farmer's market and make, not only did we make pies, but we made cinnamon rolls, cookies, um, shortbread, all kinds of stuff. So you can see how pretty this is in here. And then we're gonna evenly distribute our streusel on top. And you could also do this without oats if you prefer. Just add, a little bit more flour instead. I think it adds a nice little texture and crunch. And I really like that hint of cinnamon on top. So let me know what other spring goodies you enjoy. If you like asparagus, if you like anything else available in the spring, what's available in your area in the spring, I would love to know. It's getting closer to strawberry season here in Oregon, which I always enjoy. My strawberry plants are forming cute little baby strawberries, so I'm excited about that. And I'll be able to make some homemade strawberry things. So, yay! Um, anyways, here we are. So, here is the lovely streusel. It's so good. Uh, so, I want to show you what this looks like. It looks so amazing. And what I'm going to do, this pie takes a long time to bake, and we do not have that time to fill on this live. I don't want to keep you too long. So what we're going to do is I will bake this. I will promise to post photos in the community section. And then if you would like me to make a short video on how it looks after it's baked or something like that, let me know. One more thing we're going to do before I go is we're going to cover this in foil so we can keep the crust nice. And I really appreciate all of you being here on this live with me and all the chat and comments. It was really fun to chat with you. And I will be recording some fun videos tomorrow, which will be coming out Friday and maybe a little extra on Thursday as well. So, all right. So this is going to go in for 25 minutes. We'll take the foil off, another 25 minutes. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you guys in the community section and on my next video and next week for the live on Tuesday. So thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate you, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Thanks, Suzanne.